There we go. Okay. So I've already introduced those who've come on. Good to see you guys with what we're going to do today as far as a warm-up. We're going to do sit to stands. And don't go narrow to start with. Go wide. Do a push back on your butt and sit on a higher surface. Now, let's say you had a bench, okay, that was high. Good, then do that. See that? Or if you do have a chair, put your pillow or your pad on the chair and do a several sit to stands. And when you do come up, just do a open arm, then you're going to come down, then you're going to open the arms, and right now pretend I'm putting my hands right here and dropping your shoulders. Yeah. Then you come in, then you push into the heels, and then you come up, and then you come back down. So the trick here, y'all, is to go wide with your feet because this is a warm-up sit to stand. You don't have to use your hands across if you don't want to start with. Just put them on your thighs, okay, on your quads. But when you come here and you come down, make sure you start shifting into your heels. So the reason I like this motion, sit to stand, and if you're standing, you're going to sit, or you're going to lean into a high bench. You're going to keep your chin tucked, and you're going to do several of these, okay? Hi, everybody coming on. So we are recording. Then I'm going to go turn. Then I'm going to go turn. Then we're going to go push back again. Don't start going too fast. And notice the two very important little corrections I've put as I'm using these as a warm-up. My stance is wide, wider than my hips, wider than the chair. My pillow is on the chair. Then I come into here, and I don't bounce to get up, okay? I pull in my tummy, I drop my shoulders. I lean in, my taillights are shining. Now I'm going to push on my heels as I come up. So those two factors are very important when you're using something like this as a warm-up. Okay? You want a minimal effort. And it's made minimal by putting your pillow on your chair. Okay, then drop your shoulders, push back, and every time you start to go to sit down, what are you going to do? You're going to shift into the heels. You're going to tuck your chin, see where you're at. You can either use your hands, or as you're pushing back and you're coming down here, you can just glance and see where that chair is. And then push those heels. Okay, now we're going to add the crossovers. Ready? Take a breath. Here I go. I'm going to turn. I'm going to turn. Now, I just added this one, and I'll guarantee you that unless you're keeping your shoulders down, some of you, when you went to reach across midline, you reached way out of the column. That's not what I want you to do right now, okay? So I'm floating on my feet from toes to heels. I'm turning. That's the operative word. I'm not leaning. I'm turning, and I'm reaching. I'm turning, and I'm reaching. Now I'm going to go back down and sit down. I'm going to shift into the heels. Look where my pad is on my chair. Then whenever I come up and I start wanting to make this harder, instead of putting my hands here, I'm going to put them here, okay? You could go like this. So this is the easiest way for the hands. This is the second easiest, and this is the harder, okay? So you get to choose. You can either do this and come up, and go down, or you can do this as long as, listen carefully, see, you can do this as long as you don't jump to get up. That's a real common thing. So you want to squeeze into that move. See that? You want to squeeze into the move as you go down. And when you start to do this and you start to hang on with your arms here, sometimes it gets a little scary because you're like, oh, you know, you might overbalance, underbalance, and you're not quite on, or you might not realize that you drifted and your seat isn't quite under you. So those are all very important, but the most important, that if you've chosen this position to do this move, that you don't jump to get up, okay? Hold your ground, take a breath, you hip hinge, now you push into the heels. That's imperative. Push into those heels, going up and coming down, and you have that constant exhale, inhale going, right? And my shoulders are dropped. Yes, push into the heels, squeeze that butt, come back down. Now we're going to do the last one here. And we're going to turn, not lean, and cross across midline. Drop your shoulders. Drop your shoulders. Yeah, drop your shoulders. Breath, inhale, exhale. Breath, inhale, exhale. Drop your shoulders. Turn. See, I'm not moving my feet. My tummy's in tight. My shoulders are down. Rib cage is up. And as I turn and reach, I still have a tendency to want to bring my shoulder up. So try not to do that. Okay? It's good to see all y'all coming on. I've posted all our workouts, especially those ones I had to deal with peripheral neuropathy last week. And this one, which is going to be a wellness workout. It's going to be a wellness strength training. That means we're going to go from head to toe. So we've gotten warmed up. So I'm going to step out of here where my chair is, right here. And if you're going to do a wellness workout, you will be crossing midline. We've already done that, haven't we? We've already gone like this, right? So now let's cross here, okay? Now here's the deal. Here's the deal. When you step over like this, you will put less stress on the supporting leg if you will just soften it. Now lower your center of gravity and then come back, okay? Master this move. See this crossover? See that? Bend the back knee just a little bit, drop your shoulders, and then come back, okay? So my goal is for anybody coming into my class to be able to do this crossover move and not get flustered and not get panicky that they're losing their balance, okay? So drop your shoulders, rib cage up, yeah. Ready? I'm going to step over, and as I'm stepping over, I'm going to bend this back knee just a little. Take a breath. Then come back, okay? Cross over, bend the back knee, lower your center of gravity, and then come back. Now we're going to put it together. We're going to cross over, the back knee is bent, as if you were going to bring it through and step forward, and then bring those legs together, okay? So this is kind of a real foundational ambulatory drill, okay, to help you have better ambulation, better walking, better reflexes. Why would this move be so important to that? Simply because, yes, you're using your legs, you're using your core, you're using everything just like we did the other. However, step up with that back leg and then come together. See that? Okay, then I'm going to back up, back up, back up, back up. And when I say back up, be very mindful, because that is typically when people are backing up, when people trip. Okay, why? Because they don't get their heel up. Okay, drop your shoulders, take a breath, cross over, bend that back knee, step forward with that back leg, and then together. And then back up, back up, back up, back up. Get that heel up. Okay? Other side, cross over. It's not a great big step. You just want to cross your midline. And that is the reason why this is a superior move to get all systems on board, including your brain. Because we have two hemispheres, right? This kind of activity, crossing over midline, stepping forward, getting out of that position, brings both sides of the brain into play. So it's a very good warm-up. It's a complete warm-up, okay? So now let's start, and let's go from the top. Let's go down, and let's give a body load. Then we're going to do a weight load. So here's my chair. I have my little pad in my chair, because for this first couple ones, I'm going to use a body load. And if I'm going to put my hands in the chair, this little pad can really help make this more comfortable, okay? So here's the pad. I can either go on my fist, if that's helpful for you, or just put the heel of my hand there. I'm going to step in right there, kind of bump it with my knee. See how I'm bumping it with my knee? Then I'm going to step back, and I'm going to roll my heel into the floor, and I'm going to hold on to it momentarily. I'm going to keep my elbows soft. Then I'm going to step back, and I'm going to let my hips just drop right into the chair seat. And then I'm going to come back up. See, I'm not holding these a long, long time. Then I'm going to step forward with my other leg. Okay? My shoulders are right in line with my wrists. And I'm going to try my best to get my back heel down. So I want to get that heel down. Push that heel into the floor. Just hold it for a couple of seconds. Then step back. Now drop your shoulders. Make your elbows soft. And let your hips just drop right into the chair there. Your elbows are bent. So this is your big body load. Take a breath. Take a breath. Take a breath. Push your butt back. Step in just for a little bit. You have your pad here on the chair. I want you to put your elbows down onto the chair. Okay? Now the elbows are there. I'm going to step back into an elbow plank. So I'm going to go up. Then I'm going to settle in. I'll bring my heels down. They won't quite touch, but I'm going to be in a plank position. I'm going to hang out here for just a second. Take a breath. Take a breath. Keep your shoulders down. Shoulders down. Shoulders down. Pull that tummy in. So this is your plank. This is an elevated plank. So we're not on the floor. We're doing this from a chair. I have my pillow on my seat. Got my elbows in that chair. I'm going to hang out here for just a couple more seconds. I'm going to push my butt up. Step in, step in, step in. Put my hands on the chair. Drop my shoulders. Now keep your shoulders over your wrist as you step out into a high elevated plank. So why is it elevated? It's on a chair instead of on the floor. Okay? Take a big breath. Drop your shoulders. Take a big breath. Drop your shoulders. Make sure you're not dragging your head down there. Chin tucked. Take a breath. Take a breath. Take a breath. Hang out here for just a second. Then step that leg in. Step that leg in. Bend those knees. Yeah, put the hands over on the back of the chair and come up. Now, once you come up, I'm going to take one hand. I'm going to keep one hand forward. One hand is going to go back. But here's the thing that you should see that you might not notice unless I was there with you checking you. The minute you put your hand back here, many of you turned your hip out. So bring your hands back here. It's over the chair. You're facing the chair. The hips are toward the chair, correct? Put one hand, we're going to do the same side. One hand forward. Drop your shoulders. One hand, the elbow goes back. But I don't turn my hips. I do not turn my hips. This is a very important move for anybody that has consideration with shoulders that pull forward. If you have the effects of osteoporosis the beginning of, this is a very important move. Bring it back. Put your hands down. Take a breath. Okay, you ready? My knees are soft. My shoulders are down. Now I'm going to trade. I'm going to put one hand forward. Okay? Then the other hand is going to bend and pull back. As far as I feel I can pull back my hand. Now, it's very important here that you keep your shoulders down and your knees are soft. Okay? Knees are soft and you're holding out down here, and that shoulder blade over here is really pulling into the back. And then you come back and take a breath and put your hands down just right there. Okay? Yay. Now, if I had a wall here that I could press up against, I'll use this. This is a countertop and it's pretty far up here. Okay? So if I had a wall or a counter or a bed, a kitchen counter, a wall is the best. Well, I would just put my hands on that wall, okay? And the first move that I want to do is I want to flare my elbows. I want to drop my shoulders. Excuse me. I want to lower myself into the wall and pull my shoulders into the back and then push back on it. Okay, I've had people do what's called a wall push-up, and they do it real fast and they don't think. Well, I want to think. So I want to drop my shoulders, and on these first 3 or 4, I want to flare my elbows. I want to keep my shoulders down, and then I'm going to push back, okay? So see, I'm not doing this for my arms. I'm doing this for my upper back. That's important for you to know here, because the first 3 or 4, you keep your body just like a board. You keep your shoulders down, and as you lower yourself to the wall or to the counter or to the bed, your shoulder blades go in, and then you open those shoulders and push back. That's how I want you to do the first set in a wall push-up. So remember, when you got your elbows flared in a wall push-up, you're not doing it for your arms. You're doing it for your back muscles. You're doing it for your spine, okay? Take a big breath. So as you go down, check your feet, okay? Soften your knees. Drop your shoulders as you're coming all the way in, and then push it back. So your tummy is super tight. Do not let your stomach flux into and do a hyperextension. We don't want to do that right now. I want to keep you really like a board. Okay, keep your shoulders down. You're flaring your elbows. Your shoulder blades are coming into your back. And then you come back. This is also a really good move to feel the pressure move from your toes to your heels. And when you do that, you tend to want to lock your knees. Don't do that. Keep your knees soft, just soft. You don't really bend them, but you keep them soft. So see how I'm flaring my elbows? I'm going to keep my shoulder blades into my back. I keep my shoulders down. Breath, and then come back. Just one more if you can do that. Okay, one more. Here we go. Shoulders down. Woo! Breath, 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 breath. Okay. Bring your hands down and just do that little pendulum swing, because we have one more set when we're doing this kind of a move. We flared the elbows, and now we need to turn the elbows under. This one is very hard for people because this one that we're going to do is about your arms, okay? Okay, shake out your hands, and before you put pressure on them again, just pull back like that, and then turn your thumb out. See, like that, and pull under. Boy, does that help through your wrist and your forearm. Wow, that helps. I think you can't see my head when I'm standing up here. Okay, push under, see that? And then turn your thumb out and pull under. See that? Wow, does that make that feel better? So you want to turn your thumb out when you do that, okay? Just like that. Take a breath and shake out. Okay, now this whole set that we're going to do is about your arms. So I'm going to put my hands on the wall again, or the counter, or the bed, or the chair. And I'm going to, excuse me, there's my doorbell. No, match. Go lay down. And I'm going to pull my elbows under. So instead of flaring, everything here is the same, but instead of flaring my elbows, what am I going to do? Pull them under. Because as I lower myself into the wall, and if I had a wall here, it would be right out at my shoulders, okay? That's how I want you to do it. See that? But I'm a little lower. You know, this counter is not as high as I would normally like it, but it's okay. Roll the elbows in, and as you lower yourself down, the elbows go to the wall, basically. The elbows go to the wall. And then you push back. Roll it in, elbows to the wall, push it back. Keep your elbows tucked under because you're not flaring them now. You should be feeling it really good right here. So anybody that's concerned about the back part of their arms being all loose, well, number one, if it's loose skin, you know, you can tighten up your muscle and you can tighten the skin up a little bit with that. But what you should be concerned about is the muscle under the skin, okay? So roll those elbows in, and the elbows go to the wall. Breaths. And you want to do it. Somebody will say, well, how many do I do? And I'm going to say again, well, how many can you do? Okay. You're going to say, how many can I do? Until I'm like really feeling it in the back parts of my arms. You shouldn't feel this in a bad way at all in your joints in your shoulder. You shouldn't feel this as a bad way at all in your elbow. It's back of the arms. Okay. And you do as many as you can, and that's your set. And then I would say to you, if you're worried about when you wave, if you're worried about this part of your arm hitting you in the face, then do these a lot. That's just a joke. But if you do wall push-ups along with chair back push-ups to attack this strength right here. Number one, it will help the posterior part of your shoulder. It will help your core, and it will address this muscle, and it's not just one. Tricep, that's 3 heads of a muscle back there. So the tricep can actually take a lot of push in order to innervate it. So let's stack up. We did this one against the wall. Now we're on the chair. I still have my little pad here because that makes it more comfortable for my hands. I'm going to put my gloves on here in just a second. I'm going to step out. See how I stepped out? See that? Now I'm going to just ease my butt off the chair. And then I'm going to go again. I'm going to do as many as I can tolerate. But here's what you don't do on this one. This is not one where you're going, oh, well, if I go lower, it's going to be better. That is not true on this one. You just want to point those elbows back, and you want to innervate the back parts of those muscles back there. And you don't go very low. That would strain your shoulder. We just want to hit the back part of those muscles in the arm. See that? Okay, I've got about 2 more. Take a breath. Okay, that's about it for me. Caution. Don't keep doing these when you're tired. When you start feeling really tired, that muscle will fatigue quickly and you'll find yourself on the floor. Okay, that's what happens. That's why I want to encourage you to challenge yourself to chair back push-ups. See, it's a chair and it's a back arm push-up. Okay, so it's kind of the reverse. So I'm going to just swing my arms here. I'm going to open and close and open and close. Keep my shoulders down. Yep, keep my shoulders down. All right, take a big breath. So before I get back up, I want to address some tightness that happens right up deep, deep, deep in a gluteal. I want to do it like it's called a piriformis, even into the sciatic release. Okay, you can do it yourself. So it's just like this. See that? See that? And you can put your hands under and just pull the knee as you've crossed it to the opposite shoulder. See that? So we don't have to be laying down on the ground in order to really hit that deep muscle in the hip. Okay? See, I just put my leg like this, put my hand under here, then I act like I'm bringing my knee to my opposite shoulder. And I'm sitting tall, okay? And I'm pulling that right in as I'm leaning in just a tiny bit. And you should be able to feel that right there in your hip. Yes, you can do it lying or you can do it sitting. A lot of people don't realize you can do it sitting. So I'm going to do the other leg. I'm just going to act like I'm going to cross my leg just like that. I already feel the pull right here. Then you can put your hand under here and you bring the knee to the opposite shoulder. Okay, so I'm going to bring this one here and I'm going to turn slightly. And as I'm pulling that knee into that shoulder and I'm hanging out here, whoa, can I feel that right through there? Okay, it's a really good move to be cognizant of, to know this. So I don't know if I would suggest you do it in church. If you're sitting in church, you might not want to do this stretch. But it sure helps release your back, your hip. It's really a good move. Okay, so big breath. We're going to do one more set because I really want you to know this. You can innervate and get great strength work through your whole upper body and especially the back parts of these arms. And the stronger these are, the quicker and the easier you're going to be able to get yourself up from sitting or lying if you needed to do that. Okay, ready? So I'm going to step out. Okay, first thing, drop your shoulders. Yes, after I stepped out, I'm going to drop my shoulders. Okay, tighten in your tummy. Okay, and then I'm just going to ease my butt right down. See, just a little, and then I just come up. Now here's a trainer's tip. Many of you, when you're down here like this, instead of pushing up through your arms to get yourself up, you know what you do? You do this. You lift your hips. So this has nothing to do with that right now. This is always going to be the back part of the arms. So don't lift the hips, okay? Not on this one. Breath, we'll do that in a minute, but not right now. Big breath, big breath, big breath. I got maybe 2 more. Breath and breath. And bring it back to the chair. Woo! You should feel that heating up. Now we're going to do some hits on the leg, but we're going to do some carries to begin with because I want to get your whole musculature, your whole bone structure into a good carry. Okay? So I'm going to just stand up. I'm going to come over here. I'm going to put on my little weight training gloves. Just like this. And one of the reasons why I really like doing free weights is because the effort when I pick up a weight really helps my gripping. Okay, so what did I pick up? I picked up something that's going to push me into the heavy carry category. So whatever that might be for you, I have 15 on one hand and I have 15 on the other hand. That's what I have. Okay. So I'm going to hang onto these. I'm going to let them go to my palm. Then I'm going to let it roll to my fingertips. So when it's rolling to my fingertips, I'm going to do a little ambulation. See this? So I'm going to keep my knees soft. See? And I have the weights hanging off my fingertips. I should probably build this as a bowling training move because it will strengthen your hands. Okay, so see, I roll it to my fingertips, I walk, and then I pull it back into the palm of my hands. Okay, then I let it roll to my fingertips, and then I pull it to the palm of my hand. And I keep trying not to do that funny little wobble that I have a tendency to do. And it's difficult not only because you have hips replaced, knees replaced, it's difficult because a lot of times when you have this kind of work done on your joints, one leg is longer than the other leg. And that's a real trick to walk without wobbling when you have one leg longer than the other leg. But we keep trying, don't we? Okay, see how I'm letting the weights go to my fingertips, and then I pull it into my palm. And again, when you're doing this with 15 pounds, you start to feel it, which is what I want. Take a breath, take a breath, take a breath. Now, if you've been doing this the whole time with a heavy weight, then I want you to do a fold, and I want to put the weights right down. I'm going to give my hands just a little bit of a rest. Open, close, open, close, open, close. See, if I'd have gone right ahead and didn't give your hands a break and we went right into some of the next moves. That's too much for your hands. You want to help them get stronger. You don't want to injure them, okay? So you have to have breaks, because I was letting that go from the palm to my fingertips, and then I would curl it back in. See, that's big time work right through here, okay? And your hands. All right, so my hands had a break. I'm going to go down here and grab them again. So here I am, okay? Now I'm going to put those weights right there on my quads, right? So I'm going to act like I'm sitting back. See how I just sit back, keep my chin tucked, drop my shoulders. See that? So I'm going to go straight from here with only one at a time, because they're heavy, right? And I don't want to put too much pressure on my back or my shoulder or my upper spine. See? Drop your shoulders, set back into the heels, tighten your tummy. Here we go. Exhale, inhale. Yeah. Exhale, inhale. Take a breath, pull, tap, and back down. And I'm setting back into my heels, okay? Tap and back. Tap and back. Drop your shoulders. And back. Breath. Back. Here we go. Boom. And back. And back. Breathing, breathing, breathing. Right there. So this whole thing, this little modified curl, okay, it's a tap and a curl. Heavy weights, should be heavy, is helping to strengthen not only my arms, but my whole core has to do this move. Set into your heels. Breath. 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 Just two more, just two more, just two more. We got it. Right there and back. Right there and back. This is it. Right here. And last one. Good. Okay. Now I'm going to stand my ground. I'm going to give my hands a break again because these are heavy. So I'm going to do my fold. Okay. See how I push my butt back in order to put those down? See, my knees did not go way out over my toes, right? They stayed pretty much in line with my laces. I did not want them to go way out, all right? Shake out your hands. Yep. Open and close. Open and close. Open and close. Open and close. Okay. Step back into your spot. You ready? So I'm going to go down and grab them. All right. So I'm going to go down, grab them, come back, drop my shoulders. Now I'm going to stand my ground, shoulder width. I'm going to swing my butt back. I'm going to go to a little semi-squat. See that? Just a little, not big. Then I'm just going to bring my elbows back. That's it. But in bringing my elbows back, see, I had to keep my shoulders down. But in order to accomplish this move, as I'm pushing back into my heels, I had to do a very important thing, and it's one that we did at the warm-up today. To go back here, I have to pull my shoulder blades into my back and then open them and put them down. That is a very important move. And I'm breaking this move down to very doable portions, okay? So in order to get my shoulder blades in right here. All I think about is bringing my elbows back, but I have to pull the shoulder blades in. That accomplishes exactly what I want to with this heavier weight. Then I open and I bring them right down, okay? And you can let them be on your quads if you want to, that's fine. Drop your shoulders, drop your chin, release, and just pull the elbows back as you're pulling your shoulder blades in. And then bring them back. Drop them down. Here we go. Pull the elbows back, shoulder blades in, back and back. Take a breath. Pull those elbows back. Drop your shoulders. Squeeze. Bring them back in. Okay, about 3 more. Here we go. Elbows back. Come back in. So, what you need to understand about this move is we're doing a very important move of pulling the shoulder blades into the back, but we're doing it with a weight load. That makes all the difference right there, because let's put the weights down. Shake out your hands. Okay, this move that we did warming up, this one right here, see that? Okay, that's the muscles that we're using now with a weight load, okay? Switch, point with one hand, tighten your tummy, drop your shoulders, okay? Now, your other side, I'll turn so you'll see what I'm doing. It's gonna go like this. See that? That move right there. Now we're doing that move more perpendicular to the floor, see? And we're bringing that elbow in and the shoulder blade is coming in. And we're doing it with a very heavy weight, okay? So I wanted to point that out to you because everything builds on itself. So now, without the weight, just bring your hands forward. So this is a hinge move. And listen, if you've got a hunch on your back up here, if you're starting to hunch over, I don't even put weight on you to start with. You drop your shoulders, you clap your hands with your elbows here, and then you bring them to this position. See? See how my hand and my elbow is in the same line? And then you act like I'm pushing your hands and your shoulder blades go into your back with your elbow down, not flared. And then you come back in, okay? Take a breath and just bring that and feel those shoulder blade muscles pulling in. Okay, that's what we were doing with the weight, all right? Big breath, yes. Now, I'm keeping at a very heavy weight for a reason. We're gonna go ahead and go down and grab them. I still have a little pad here on my chair. Notice that? So we're going to go right on down to the lower leg now. So we've addressed upper body, strength loads, body loads, strength loads, free weight loads. Then we were working through the middle, the core. Now we're going to still use the core, but we're going to go right on down to the lower leg. So I'm going to do a hip hinge. I'm going to grab the weights. So now I've got 30 pounds, right? I'm going to bring one up, put it right there. I'm going to keep my thumb there. Bring the other one up. I'm going to keep my thumb there just to kind of cushion. Yeah, so it's not uncomfortable. Okay? So now I'm going to do my, with 30 pounds added, I'm going to bend my knees. I'm going to pull my heels up. Now, if that bothers you, do one at a time. That would be perfectly fine. See, you're pushing into your toes and you're just bringing your heel off the ground and you're putting your weight into that toe box. Now, anytime you can, keep your knees bent and bring your heels up and do little pulses. See how that pulse is going there? So the heel is up. I've got 30 pounds extra here that I just picked up. Breath, breath, stay into that toe box. And again, somebody might say, well, how many? And I'm going to say, well, how many can you do? If you overbalance, you're going to have to step forward and balance yourself out or you'll fall on your nose. That's just how this move goes. This is a very good balance move. So toe lifts. So this is called like toe lifting, even though you're lifting your heel. This is one of the main exercises in the Strong Men, Strong Women Stay Young wellness workout. Okay, I'm going to do about 3 more because my calves are feeling it now. Take a breath. Your knees are still soft. Okay, curl those back out and they're right here. Okay, now I'm going to do a split stance, which is going to make me use my legs, especially lower legs, much more. Okay, watch your back toe. Bring that back knee down. Once you're in the down position, just hang on down here. Bring this one and just tap your shoulder. See this? Pull. Just a pull. Don't flick your elbow out. If you find that you're flicking your elbow out here, it's because the weight's too heavy and you're trying to compensate. So don't flick that elbow out. If you are, then just hang out here. Don't try to do the lifts. The weight might be too heavy for you to do a curl with. Okay, I've got one more. And back. Okay, take a breath. Now I'm gonna step back. Okay, I'm gonna bend that back knee. See that? I'm going to keep this weight right here. Now here's a little modification that if you've picked a really heavy weight, then keep your weight on your quad. Do the curl from the quad, see, or your thigh. Because if you go too far, you're going to do that funny flick with the elbow. So I don't want to do that, right? So breath. Here we go. Breath. Keep that back knee bent. Keep the elbow tucked. Breath. Yeah. Yeah, just keep breathing. Keep that elbow in. Breath. Breath. Hang out. Hang out. You guys are doing really good. Go from the thigh if you need to. That's acceptable. It is not acceptable to flick your elbow out and get help. Don't do that. That's about it for me. Okay, step back. Woo! Take a breath. I'm going to bring these over. And I'm going to put them down. Then I'm going to keel back to a light weight. Very light. So I have a 5 or a 6, okay? And we're going to start toward the downward spiral. I'm going to cross over. See that? And I'm going to cross over. See that? This is a light weight. Then I'm going to step up and together. Then I'm going to back up. So now I'm doing the crossover step. And then I'm added weights. And I'm going to cross over the midline, step forward with the back leg, bring it right down here, drop your shoulders, and back up, back up, back up, back up. So now I just have 5 pounds and 5 pounds, or 6 pounds and 6 pounds. Whatever is a light to medium lightweight to you, okay? So you're going to cross over. See that? Cross over. Now take your back leg, step forward, and then back up, back up, back up, okay? Here we go. Cross over. I'm going to cross over with the opposite hand, All right. Just like that. I'm going to bring the back leg and step forward just like a ladder and come back. Take a big breath. Yes. And come back and come back and come back. Now, I have light weights, okay? Not as problematic for doing arm work. So now I'm going to do the crossover. I'm going to do the crossover. Then I'm going to push them down to my knees. Then I'm going to pull them right back here as I step up, but don't lock your knees. Okay? So you ready? So I'm going to cross. I'm going to cross. I'm going to bring it right here and push it to my knees. I'm going to go cross, cross. This is a light weight. Pull them back and go to the knees. Okay? So you're going to go pull, cross, cross, pull the elbows way back, and then come to the knees. So I'm doing little deeper squats, little deeper, not quite to the chair, but I'm down here. I'm going to come up. I'm going to cross. I'm going to cross. Then I'm going to pull back and go to the knees again. Take a big breath. So that movement pattern, you're going to lift, you're going to cross, you're going to cross, you're going to pull back with that light weight in both hands. Don't drop your elbows. Don't drop your elbows. Keep them as high as you can. And then come to your knees. Take a big, deep breath. Big breath. Okay. Pull. Squeeze your butt. Cross. Cross. Pull back. As far back as you can. And then come down. Nice. Okay. I'm going to put those weights down. And now the two moves I'm going to end with is my back lifts or hip lifts. You can call them a hip lift. You can do it from your chair. You can do this laying in your bed. We do it many times on Wednesdays. We do it from the floor. Okay? So I'm going to put my hands right here on the chair back. I still have my little pillow, my desk. So I'm going to go from here. Now, I'm not going to bend my elbows. I'm going to keep them soft, but they're going to support the whole move here. See that? So I'm going to hang out here for just a second. Take a big, deep breath. Keep your elbows soft. And all you're going to do from this point right now with your elbows soft, your shoulders down, is you're going to go lift, shift your weight, lift, shift your weight, lift, a lot of stomach here, shift, boom, bring it up, shift, bring it up, shift, bring it up, keep in this little bridge position if you can, breath, keep your elbows soft, keep your shoulders down, shift, one more, on both sides, and sit. Okay, that's how you do a back bridge from your chair. Now, when we do back bridges and we're laying down, we do repeated up and down back bridges, but we can get great benefit from just hitting that position and bringing those legs up like that, okay? It will pay you back in dividends. All right, now I'm going to turn around and do a very important move with you again. I'm going to let the hips drop down to the chair. I'm going to do it from the seat chair. Then I'm going to turn the chair around and do it from the back. So I'm going to go right here. I'm going to step back, bend my knees, drop my shoulders, and just hang out here, okay? I'm just going to hang out down here. Keep your shoulders down as best you can. See how I'm really just letting it just give some traction. Pulling down, pulling down, pulling down, pulling down. Take a breath. Take a breath. Step back in. I'm going to turn the chair. And now I'm going to do that very important back hyperextension. So now you don't tighten up your butt. Your hands are on the chair back. You're going to release the rear end. You're going to push your hip bones into the chair, okay? You're going to soften your knees. Keep your shoulders down. And when you're in this position now, where your hands are on your chair, you're stabilized, you're going to turn that chin. And you're going to turn it so that it's over your shoulder. You're going to turn it so that it's over your shoulder. Turn it so it's over your shoulder. Take a breath, bend the knees, and come out of that move. And shake your hands out, okay? So we went from upper, middle, to thighs, to feet and legs, all in one little workout, okay? So this is your strong men, strong women, stay young, total workout. Yay for everybody.